Is Donald Trump God's true anointed leader to lead this nation to freedom, to lead this nation to the great divine reset? We're going to talk about it today on Reality of God. Hello, my awakening wonders. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Reality of God. My name is Ron Farina, and I am in my backyard. It's nighttime. Normally, you don't really see me at night, but it's a beautiful night out tonight. I had to be out here to enjoy the serene sounds of the Western Michigan woods here on the farm. It's a little creepy, but I'm not afraid because I have the angels of the Lord protecting me. God's hand is upon me as I have declared Psalms 91 and decreed Psalms 91 onto my property here. Well, it's not my property, but the property that I'm renting on. I want to be clear that I do not own this property, but one day I will own something like this. Who knows what God has in store for me. But today, it's a very interesting subject. We're gonna have a little fun today. Not as serious as last week's video, but have a little humor aside, and you might actually hear me do some probably some bad impressions today. So just a heads up while you're watching this video. So, but I'm out here in the woods, kind of sitting out, enjoying the evening. And I'm thinking to myself, is Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States, is he truly God's anointed? Well, I'm making this a rhetorical question because most of you know the answer to that. It has been prophesied by Kim Clement. Kim Clement's prophesied on it back in the early 2000s. It was right around 2005, somewhere around there.
I was not aware of that.
Into that, into that time. Sorry, I'm just listening for noises, If anything creeps up on me, it'll be here on camera. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it. And, of course, we've seen the signs happen. He's been nearly assassinated twice. He had a bullet literally grazed his right ear. We know about that. Everybody knows about that. That has become a symbolic thing to that, too. We've talked about that before, about his right ear bleeding. And we've seen just an incredible... I don't know how to describe it. He's not really a politician to me. He is an absolute like a leader. Like he stands up. You just know he's a leader. You just know he's presidential in a lot of ways. And I haven't seen anything like that since Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Well, there you go again.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Now, I was just a little kid when he was president, but I do remember him quite well. I remember when Reagan got shot, and I was about 7 or 8 years old when that happened. And I was about 7, I want to say. I was in first grade. But what I thought was very cool about Ronald Reagan being the president is I always bragged to school. I say, hey, I have the same name as the president, That was my thing with him. I wasn't really into politics at that time. I didn't start voting until I was 18, and then I voted for Bill Clinton. I thought he was going to be a great president, but he had his things. And that's what I did. I wanted to go the opposite direction of what my parents always voted Republican. And I was not a fan of George Bush because he was president during my teenage years, and the first George Bush, that is. And then, of course, we have, who was after Clinton? Oh, yeah, George W. Bush, and I was not a fan of him either. I thought he was a little bit not smart in a lot of ways. And then after that was, of course, Barack Obama. And, he was always quite a interesting fellow. Of course, everybody loved him. He's very popular. And we know how that turned out.
You look like an idiot.
But I was voting Democrat until Donald Trump came into the picture. At first, you know, he was very, how you say, he seemed really jerk off and sort of, and it wasn't like, you know, a great, hang on a second. Thought I heard something. I am not here intentionally doing a creepy video. I'm just out here in my backyard enjoying the outdoor. You know me, I like making my videos outside. But, so yeah, where was I? Australia, yes, Australia. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait till I get going.
Princess Bride quote there. But he came out, you know, very abrasive in a lot of ways, but he had an extremely good point. You needed a strong personality to take on this country and take on the deep state. He was the guy, for sure. And I really fell in love with him after about a few months, and I definitely voted for him in 2016, and I voted for him again on 2020. And so now we're voting for him for a third time because in 2020 he did win the election. I talked about that last week, but everybody knows that thing was stolen.
You surprised?
But his whole point was he was not your typical politician, Republican or Democrat. It didn't matter. You know, Republicans, you know, known as rhinos, they're not really, they're part of the cabal. They're part of the uniparty. And so you have to just really think about if he truly is God's anointed. And it is becoming more and more and more and more and more evidence every single day. There's something going on. Of course, last week with the almost assassination on him. But you notice how calm and cool he is. He's not like panicking. He's not scared. He's not afraid. He continues on. If I was him, I'd be like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. No, the man has an anointing on him. It's like God has a special, you know, he just has that, what they call Cyrus anointing. And if you know about Cyrus in the Bible, of course, he was not a Jew. He was Persian. He was a Persian. Came and helped and delivered Israel from bondage. And that is, of course, it was prophesied in Isaiah 45. And then we know about it in the book of Daniel. I believe, of course, you know, my Bible, I need to get going more on my Bible studies because I'm slacking a little bit. I got to get a little bit more into that.
You're naughty.
Yeah, so I'm starting to read the book of Samuel, and oh my goodness, it's eye-opening. The book of Samuel, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, just absolutely eye-opening in a lot of ways about King David and so forth, and talking about Saul and King David. And you see the similarities. Of course, we know what happened to Saul as his mind began to just go nowhere. And everybody's comparing Biden to Saul, and of course, David is Trump. I think there's a lot of similarities because history tends to repeat itself. Because I believe America has made a covenant with God, and has become I would say a biggest ally to Israel than any other country in the world. I believe that America is the focal point of the end times. If America was taken over by let's say a communist, or let's say Kamala Harris herself, then it would be it. I mean, the Antichrist would rise. America is that key to I think the end time events. And so it's always been the land of the free, home of the brave. It's always been a constitutional republic. We are a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. Just quit hearing what these people are saying. We are a free country, and we are under the Constitution of the United States of America. And so it's important to know these things. And when it comes to the end times, when it comes to of the book of Revelation, now I don't know of any evidence of America being in the Bible, but I truly believe it could be there prophetically, not in its terms, but basically, it boggles the mind, just to think, if America ever becomes a socialist country, then that's it. It's over. It's over for the world, because whatever happens in America happens over the world. And so, what Donald Trump represents is that period of which America is going to transform back to the way it was meant to be as a constitutional republic. This is God's plan, and his plan to reach the gospel to all corners of the world. Matthew 24:14, and everybody's right. Jesus said it himself. The gospel shall be spoken all over the world, and then the end shall come. It's all there. It's written.
All there, black and white, clear as crystal.
And it's important that America has been like the key factor of revivals and missionary work all across the world. It has been it has been huge. And I also, of course, there's the UK, there's Scotland. Of course, we hear about the famous missionaries that came from the UK and so forth. But America has really a lot of the biggest, I think, charismatic movements happened in America. The Azusa Street, there was, of course, we know about Brownsville, and many others that just brought out the charismatic movement. And that is why, I think it is important that we have the right leader, we have the right government taking over to continue our freedoms and so forth. And so that's why it is important you need to be voting, okay? Yes, he is truly God's anointed. And yes, it has been prophesied that he will serve his second term. Okay, even though I believe he's been doing like a shadow term these last 4 years, but he will serve his second term. He has to. If not, we're in deep, deep doo-doo. Okay? It's got to be done. And he's always said, we're going to make America great again. We're going to bring back freedom for everyone. And we're going to make our country great again. It's the best Trump impression I can do before you, but...
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
But that's what this whole thing's about. This is about restoring our nation, restoring what truly is ours. And if that doesn't happen, we cannot spread this gospel, the good news, to the world. And we have to be that voice. We have to do that. And it is important that this election, this probably the most important election I have ever encountered in my life. Probably one of the most important elections since the Civil War. I don't know. It could be more important than that. It could be more vital than that. This is our country at stake. We're being taken over. There's been an invasion from our borders. It's been obvious, and there's been cartels and things like that, and crime going across. There's been crimes against children that is being exposed left and right. Of course, everybody heard about P. Diddy and so forth, and more. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more and more of this exposure happening. I'm telling you guys, this is that time, and we need to make sure. It is so important to get out there and vote, Okay. I gotta get registered to vote here. I'm gonna do it. I have to go through this thing here in Michigan to get my driver's license changed and get my birth certificate and so forth. And it's kind of a pain in the neck, but I gotta get it done. But the important thing here is, we gotta vote. Okay. We gotta make it. We gotta, and I talked about it last week when I went to go see the movie, In God We Trust. God's Not Dead. Go see it. It's very important. It's a really good movie. It's a really, really good message to it. Any of the God's Not Dead movies has a really good message to it, but this one really particularly does. So get out there, see the movie. But he made a really good point. If we have to vote, and the 40 million Christians, I know I said 60 last week. That was a mistake on my part, but the 40 million Christians, it's got to be close to between 40 and 60 million Christians who don't vote, who never get involved. That has to make a difference right there. We have to make that difference. If we don't, then, you know, what's next? You know, they will do everything in the world to cheat in this election. So, the noises at night, scary. But guys, this is crucial, and I'm going to say this in every video. It's very crucial that we get out there and vote this year. But to answer the question that's in the beginning of the title of this video, is Donald Trump anointed by God? And the answer to that is, say it, Ace Ventura. You do it better than I do. There you go. He is the anointed. He is anointed. He's the anointed Cyrus. Lance Wallnau talks about him being the anointed Cyrus. And of course, it's also crucial if we want to bring on the kingdom and advance the kingdom. We need to advance the kingdom. That is the whole point of Habakkuk 2:14. As the glory of God, as the waters cover the sea, bringing in the glorious church, the glorious bride, which I talk about many times. And that is what this whole thing is all about. Donald Trump is just the leader we need. He's not someone we worship. He's not someone we, but we need the leader to bring in God's glory. It is very important that
We're on a mission from God.
this happens. And of course, we need to continue on in 2028 and make sure that, which I believe I think it'll be J.D. Vance. That's just my picture, but I'm not trying to get ahead of everything, right? Nobody's really talking about who's going to be president in 2028. But I think it'll be J.D. Vance. I think it'll be him or DeSantis. I don't know. It's either way. Either guy is good for me. But this is crucial. And to answer the question, he definitely is. He for sure is anointed by God to do what he is supposed to do for this nation. I truly do believe there is a military behind the scenes thing going on. And I think we've got some and I've talked about these next couple of months. I think the month of October is going to be, it's not going to be boring. I'll tell you that much. That is for sure. Don't expect October to be boring. And don't expect it to be a slow news time, because there's things going on. I think there's going to be more assassination attempts. And I believe a terrorist attack might be on the agenda right now. I don't, it's things like that we have to pray for. We just have to pray and keep praying, keep seeking the Lord, finding the true news, not listening to the propaganda that the mainstream media wants to put out for you. It's trying to find what needs to happen. So that's why we need to vote. We need to get our votes out there, and we need to get Donald Trump voted. And if he's watching this video right now, Donald Trump, love you, man. I would love to interview you. If you want to be on my channel, I would love it. That would be fantastic. It'd be fantastic. I think it'd be great. And we're going to make this channel great again. I'm telling you, it's going to be great.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
So I'm sorry. But it's vital for this thing. So keep track, keep the hope up. God is with us, and when he's with us, who can be against us? Am I right?
Am I right or am I right or am I right? Right.
Anyways, that's going to be my video for tonight. Thank you for joining me here in the deep, dark backyard at night. It's kind of crazy. I've never done a video at night before, but I got my lights on, and so it's such a lovely evening. I got to enjoy these nights before it gets cold, and so, and who knows, I might be out here when it's cold too. I like winter, but anyways, that's maybe a video for today. God bless all of you. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like, comment, share. We got to get this video. We got to get these videos out. We got to get people watching. And I love you. God loves you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.